Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Tribe Talks with Toya here at Life with Toya. And if it's your first time here, I am Toya. So I wanted to do something a little bit different today. I wanted to just bring up some topics. So, ever since I have been on my financial journey of budgeting and managing my money a little bit better, I have been paying off debts and my credit score has been increasing. It has actually opened up a world of possibilities for me. And I've actually been thinking of possibly buying a house in the next couple of years. So I actually hopped on Facebook. If you're not following me, that is Latoya Lakie, LATOYA LAKIE on Facebook. And I actually posted a question. The question was, what is something you wish you knew before buying your first house? So I have my computer right here and I'm going to go through the comments with you guys. It was actually a lot of interaction on that thread, and people actually shared it. So I wanted to share some of the tips with you. And if you have ever purchased a house before and you know of something that you would like to add to the conversation, please make sure that you drop it in the comment section below. Also, if you would like to be a part of the tribe, hit that button that says subscribe. I still haven't found anybody to write me a beat to that, by the way. If you would like to know whenever new videos are released, please make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you will be notified. All right. So let's get into this. If you find any content in here that is of value to you, please make sure that you hit that like button because this pushes it out to the algorithm. It pushes it out to the algorithm so that other people like you who may need this information can get it. Okay. Someone actually said, I'm not going to share any names because I don't really have any permission to share their names, but they posted it under my post, so I'm going to share the information. Someone said to make sure that you go look at the house after it has rained to see how the land holds up. Also, too, it would be good to see a house after it has rained because it's harder for the owners to hide things that are happening while it rains, such as leaky roofs, etc., etc. Someone also said that the builder, the realtor, the bank financier, the or financer, the surveyor, and inspector, they all work together when they know each other. They'll casually suggest their partners for you so that you can already gather that they're going to ride for each other. Their goals are to make as much money in the deal as possible, and they help each other do that. So choose your own bank. Um, I find that very interesting because a lot of people are driven by greed. I hate to say it. If you have been watching my videos, you know I have been pinching my pennies where I can, and I still have got a time or two, and I have expressed my frustration about it on this channel. So, you guys, I guess it just comes with the territory. Also, someone said check for easements and liens. She thought she had a full acre of land, but there was a train track behind her property and they had an easement to use part of her land that she didn't know about. Granted, she purchased this from a private seller. It was her first home, I believe, and she didn't know about the easement. And I don't think it's fair that states or government entities can have access to your land if need be by an easement. I feel like if I pay for this property and I maintain this property, it's mine and you should have to ask me permission to use it. But apparently that's not the case. So that was a good tip. Someone else said to get a reputable home inspector to look at your serious potential buy. It's better to pay the $200 to $400 for the inspection than the 2,000 plus for repairs later. Um, I love doing sinking funds, and I already know I'm probably gonna have 1,000 sinking funds for this potential home. We're in dreamland now, y'all. So this is not a definitive, but within the next year or two, I do kind of see myself maybe venturing into owning something, especially once I find out exactly where it is that I want to live. So when you actually start budgeting and things going up and up, and you're able to actually put money to the side and you can see this money build up, it opens up a world of possibilities for you and this is one of them for me, possibly one of them for me. Someone else also said that it is important to know the age of the roof and the HVAC up front, especially if you don't have the reserves to replace either in the first couple of years. Someone else also recommended to get a home warranty to cover those type of things, especially in the first year, which I have never purchased a home before, so I'm not sure exactly how all of these work. But if you have any recommendations or you have any experience in that area and you would like to share, please make sure that you drop that in the comment section below. Also, too, someone said sometimes we think bigger is better, especially if we have a growing family. But when buying, make sure that the property that you purchase isn't too much house for you. I already know me. I am not trying to be out in anybody's yard doing any landscaping, mowing, weed eating, whatever. Raking. I'm really not wanting to have 2.5, 3, 4 bathrooms, 8 bedrooms at this moment in time. It is just me. So, and I really don't want to shell out the funds to have somebody to come and clean it up all the time. So, yeah, I'm thinking smaller is better for me. I did used to want a pool when I was younger. But she did mention that a pool liner can cost anywhere between $4,000 and $7,000. So also be sure to factor in the cost. I'm pretty sure that the upkeep of the pool, I'm pretty sure the upkeep of the pool is bananas in itself. And I don't know if I want to shell out the money for that, but it does seem really nice to just have like your own private pool, maybe possibly a hot tub or something that you can just chill in and you don't have to pay to access it, but you have to pay to maintain it. Also, someone else said to be sure to have a good check on the electrical and plumbing systems in the house. Also, the trees in the yard, which I was thinking, okay, I don't want a tree too close to the house because I live in an area where there's a lot of hurricanes and things like that. And I've seen where the trees have fallen on the house, on the homes. And someone had said, be careful because depending on the situation, your insurance may or may not cover it, which I have a hate relationship with insurance because I've seems like I've always paid for it, and whenever I need it to come through, they always find some kind of some kind of loophole in order for them not to pay. And the most expensive lessons I have learned have been for insurance. And then when I learned the lesson and I add it, I don't ever need it again. So it's like I would hate to get into a house, have insurance, think I have adequate coverage. Something happens and they find a loophole and I'm stuck with a bill. Like that is like one of my worst nightmares because it has happened with vehicles twice. So, anywho, that's another story. Neither here nor there. Someone else also said, go to a showing at night, or visit the neighborhood when it's nighttime so that you can get a feel for the neighborhood. Go to the neighborhood on the weekends so you can kind of see how the neighbors live. Also, make sure that you have a good inspection, which seems to be a running theme, the inspections. And it's funny because I used to watch HGTV all of the time, and my heart would be beating like this when people would buy houses sight unseen, inspection waived. Like, girl, I feel like that is a straight money pit. If somebody be like, girl, buy this house for me. But the only way you can get this deal is if you buy it sight unseen, or I can give you the address so you can look around outside, but you can't go in and you have to waive the inspection. I can't take that kind of risk. I'm a scary person, so I cannot take that kind of risk. Also, someone else said if you buy from the bank, the closing costs are unexpected. So apparently, he had a situation where he had all of the money up front, and then he had to come up with an extra $8,000 to close the deal. Yeah, I have seen horror stories with that. Someone also suggested that there may be grants and low down payment options available for first time home buyers. So that could be something to look into. Also, when you get an inspection, be on site when it is inspected, which I don't know why I thought that when an inspector inspects the house that you can't be there. I don't know where that thought came from, but I was just like, man, I didn't know you could be there when the inspector is there. But now it makes sense. Like, I'm gonna be right here. Someone said that they wish they knew themselves. Now that they have a house, many of the parts of the house does not fit or match their style or personality, which I feel like that's a kind of a hard one because we are human beings, we evolve. Um, and your style may change. My style has changed and actually is in the process of changing. Right. So I'm looking more towards neutral tones. I'm wanting to change my wardrobe to be more neutral. And I love gray. And at one point, I was feeling black. And now I want a little bit less black and more earth tone colors. So things, and I guess with that you could just paint the rooms differently, I guess, or whatever. But I'm not sure exactly what she was referring to here. But I just say, hey, you can always remodel. But there was some great information in here in this thread. Also, someone else said, do not do a 30-year loan. Did you save interest on doing a 20-year loan? I have actually heard that you should actually do a 15-year loan. And I know that means that the payment will be higher, but the interest rate will be lower. So the longer your payment plan, the higher your interest rate. And I believe it's because they feel like the longer the plan, the more apt you are to be able to default on the loan. So in order to combat that, if you do a shorter term, they'll give you a lower interest rate because I feel like the shorter the term, the harder it will be for you to default on the loan, which you can default either way. But if you can actually get the 15-year loan with the lower interest rate and pay more on that, um, then you can get it paid off. I've seen someone where they said they paid off their 15-year mortgage loan in 2 years. And I was just like, man. And that is one of the things that is enticing me to actually look into buying within the next couple of years because rent is getting crazy. Actually, my rent is going up in my apartment, $75 come January. So I am actually going to downsize because that $75 will be taken away from my debt repayment plan and my savings plan and getting myself together. And I don't want to give you an extra $75 to live in the exact same place with no additional upgrades. So I will be downsizing my apartment to save my money because I am serious about this coming out of debt and savings and getting my life together financially planned. Okay. And I'm just over every time I turn around, somebody's going up on something. So I just feel like it would be nice to just not have a mortgage, not have rent. And the only way that I feel like you can do that is either to live with your parents. Hey, mom. Or um, to either live with your parents or to pay off your mortgage or have roommates or a life hack. And then when you house hack, not life hack, house hack. So when you house hack, you buy like a duplex or a multi-family unit. You live in one and you rent out the others and you let the others pay for your rent. But in the event that something happens to anybody else's apartment or condo or townhome or whatever it is, the multi-family unit, then it's your responsibility to get it fixed. And not only do you have to take care of your property that you live in, you got to take care of everybody else's too, and then you have to deal with it. So I don't even know if I want to do that. I was thinking about doing that at one point, but I don't even know if I even want the headache to even deal with that. And I will be having like 1,000 sinking funds to try to maintain and make sure that I have enough money for anything that could possibly go wrong in any of the apartments. And then plumbers, I'm in the wrong profession. We're not even going to talk about how much plumbers cost and how short they're in your house. But someone else said that to get a roof inspection by a reputable professional, because the home inspector is not always qualified to inspect your roof. Even new roofs can be questionable. That is crazy to me. I thought home inspectors had to be certified in every aspect of a home. I didn't know that you could be a home inspector and not be qualified to inspect the roof. Like, isn't that part of the home? You know? Why? But so far in this thread, I have heard home inspector, roof inspector. Get your home inspector, let them get a home inspector, get you a home inspector to make sure they say the same thing their home inspector says, and get you a roof inspector. And someone said they can cost between $200 and $400. And I believe I don't know if that's part of the closing cost or a separate cost, or I'm not sure. I'm still doing my research on this, but I got some really good information from this, and I decided to bring the information to you, the tribe, because I'm looking out for you, and whatever I learn along in this journey, I'm going to share it with you. But yeah, that is all that I have for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you comment, and make sure you subscribe to be a part of the tribe. Keep budgeting and stay inspired. Until next time, enjoy life with Toya.